For over a century, the Greater Milwaukee Urban League has been making a positive impact in the community by offering education, employment, advocacy, and civic engagement programs and services. On November 2nd, they're hosting the organization's 39th annual Black and White Ball featuring Shantae Moore. Joining us to talk about the beautiful things going on at the Urban League is the CEO, Dr. Eve Hall. Dr. Hall, thanks for joining us on Black Nouveau.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. So the Urban League has a rich 105-year history. Can you talk about some of the changes you've been doing over the past couple of years?
Well, we really have been sticking to our core of our 105 years, which has been, as you mentioned earlier, education, employment, housing, entrepreneurship, advocacy, and civic engagement. And how does that look? Is basically really providing more access and opportunities for our people to get a better quality of life. And what does that look like? We provide computer literacy now, so individuals can get certified in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, which, as you know, those are basic skills that you need in careers. We provide laptops and scholarship awards. We now provide driver's permit classes for adults and youth, which, as you know, transportation is critical to having options when you're looking for jobs and moving around in the city. In education, mentoring, giving students community service opportunities. So we're working directly with students in middle school and in high school, which also includes students experiencing our National Youth Summit, which is in major cities across the country.
How do you go about connecting the job seeker to the employer?
So we have employment coaches who actually sit down with individuals who are looking for different opportunities, assess really their skills and their talents and their interests, and then we have employers that we work with. So it's really a match game that we play for those individuals that are coming to seek jobs. Very basic, and so that's why our partnerships with different employers is so important.
We often hear about Milwaukee being one of the worst places to raise a black child and a lot of negative statistics. How does the Urban League address those issues through its work?
Well, we're always focused on the gap. So just really going back to a couple of things that I named, driver's permit. We know that we have a lot of individuals who do not have permits or driver's licenses. And because driver's education is now limited, so many individuals who are looking for driver's permit classes, the cost, if you're not in the public school system or you're not doing it through our organization as an example, private lessons can be $500. That is so costly. And so that can be a barrier for many of our students. When we think about the digital divide, that is one of the reasons that we provide laptops to students. You would be surprised at the number of students who just having a laptop at their side when they're going on to a 2 or 4 year institution, not having to rely on a computer lab, can make a difference in the success of their education. So, those are a couple of ways that we're trying to address those barriers. I believe while, yes, the statistics say that we're one of the worst, we're still experiencing similar issues as other urban communities. But I believe that even as bad as it may seem oftentimes, there are still opportunities for us to be even more collective in our efforts to address the gaps.
Are there any out-of-pocket costs for the person seeking services from you?
Depends. So when it comes to driver's permit, $35 is really the maximum. And there are some requirements in terms of those that would qualify for it. Most of our services have no charge. So when we're working with our students in the schools and providing experiences for them, there's no charge. We raise our money through private grants, through corporate grants, through our major events, so that we can, in fact, provide the programs and services with no charge.
And you also have the Black and White Ball. Talk a little bit about that.
Exactly. So Black and White Ball coming up November 2nd, 39 years. And it was actually started, James, as a way to bring the community together. At that time, the black and the white community were not always conversing or really collaborating. And so the Urban League saw this as an opportunity to galvanize the community, one evening a year to have fun, to be in a relaxed atmosphere where we get to know each other a little bit differently, but to still take some moments during that event to speak to the issues of this city and the importance of everyone working together to improve the lives of everyone, because we're interdependent. So we can't have one group winning and another group losing and think that our city can really grow and sustain itself.
This year you have Shantae Moore.
We do.
How did you go about bringing her in?
Well, we have a committee that really looks at different talent. We try to be very mindful, though, of cost, because as you may know, entertainment is very, very expensive. But we do have an organization that we work with that has worked with urban leagues across this country for years and helps to provide reasonable costs for entertainment. So, you know, Shantae Moore, she's somewhat of, you know, a cross for many individuals. There are a lot of individuals, of course, that don't know of her, but once they hear her music, I think that they will enjoy her.
Well, fantastic. Thanks a lot.